36 BCE Maya lowlands. A Maya mathematician carved symbols into stone, 3 bars above 2 dots. To us, decorative marks. To them, the number 17 in a system centuries ahead of its time. The Maya used a vigesimal, base 20 system. 1, 20, 400, 8,000, far more flexible than Rome's cumbersome numerals. A dot equaled 1, a bar equaled 5, and position determined value, like place notation in modern math. Their true genius lay in the invention of zero. Around 36 BCE, long before India or Europe conceived it, the Maya used a shell glyph to represent nothing as something, an idea that revolutionized mathematics. Romans, by contrast, never developed zero. Even simple calculations required pages of numerals. Why such sophistication? Because precision shaped Maya life. Astronomers charted Venus's 584-day cycle so accurately that it deviates from modern measurements by just 2 hours over 5 centuries. Architects aligned temples to solstices and equinoxes. Priests timed rituals through intricate calendars, interlocking like gears. At Chichen Itza, the observatory El Caracol, built circa 906 CE, was aligned with Venus's extreme positions. Achieving that required decades of observation and advanced geometry. Their calendar system embodied this brilliance. 3 calendars ran concurrently: Solkin, 260 days, sacred; Hab, 365 days, solar; long count, tracking epochs. Every 52 years they synchronized, a cycle called the calendar round, celebrated with renewal ceremonies. The long count extended infinitely, counting days in powers of 20. Kin, Winal, Tun, Katun, Baaktun, capable of recording millions of years past or future. This mathematical foundation underpinned everything: trade, farming, engineering, timekeeping. From pyramid alignments to celestial charts, the Maya treated mathematics as both science and sacred order. Long before algebra or telescopes, they had already mastered abstraction, precision, and cosmic scale. A civilization that turned numbers into architecture and time into eternity. The Maya did not think the world was going to end in 2012. December 20th, 2012. Across the world, fear spread faster than reason. Bunkers filled, supplies vanished, and doomsday believers stared at the sky, convinced the ancient Maya had predicted the end of everything. Some built underground shelters. Others gathered at supposed safe zones, waiting for the apocalypse. What triggered this panic was a single date, December 21st, 2012, and a misunderstanding so great it took archaeologists, anthropologists, and actual Maya elders to explain it. The Maya never predicted the end of the world. The confusion began with the Maya long count calendar reaching 130000, marking the end of the 13th Baktun, a period of roughly 394 years. This moment also completed a great cycle spanning 5,125 years, dating back to the Maya creation date of August 11th, 3114 BCE. But to the Maya, this was no apocalypse. It was simply the turning of a cosmic page. Across the West, especially in the United States, the myth took on a life of its own. Hollywood turned it into disaster movies. New Age groups spoke of dimensional shifts and spiritual transformation. Conspiracy theorists claimed alien influence or hidden NASA knowledge. Panic and prophecy merged into spectacle. The irony? The Maya themselves watched the hysteria unfold with quiet amusement. "The world will not end," said Apollinario Chile Pixtun, a Maya elder from Guatemala. It will be good. We'll have ceremonies and celebrate the start of the new Baktun. But to understand that calm, one must understand how the Maya measured time. They didn't have a single calendar. They had a system of interlocking cycles. The Tzolk'in, a 260-day sacred calendar, guided religion and divination. The Hab, a 365-day solar calendar, marked agricultural and civil events. Together they formed the 52-year calendar round, aligning sacred and solar time. Then there was the long count, the cosmic clock. It didn't count years as we do. It measured epochs. Like an odometer of eternity, it tracked time in ascending units. 20 k'in made a winal, 18 winal made a ton, 20 tun made a katun, and 20 katun formed a baktun, 144,000 days. When 13 baktun elapsed, a great cycle ended and another began. That's what December 21st, 2012 represented. The completion of 13 baktun since creation. But nowhere did the Maya say the world would end. In fact, inscriptions from Palenque reference future dates far beyond 2012, including one corresponding to the year 4772 CE. The Maya clearly expected time to continue indefinitely. To the Maya, time was cyclical, not linear. Endings were beginnings, each cycle's close-marked renewal, rebirth, not destruction. Just as the 52-year calendar round ended with ceremonies of fire and renewal, so did the great cycle promise regeneration of the world's order. In Maya cosmology, previous creations and destructions were mythic, not literal apocalypses. The completion of a cycle was cause for ceremony, not panic. So when December 21st, 2012, finally arrived, nothing happened, exactly as the Maya expected. The sun rose, the earth turned, and the long count simply rolled over, beginning a new 5,125-year cycle. No fire from the sky, no cosmic alignment, just another dawn in an ancient rhythm of renewal. In truth, the 2012 panic revealed more about modern humanity than ancient prophecy. It exposed our fascination with endings, our need to find patterns of doom in ancient knowledge. It showed how easily complex cultures can be oversimplified, how myths spread faster than facts, and how the internet amplified a misunderstanding into global hysteria. The Maya, master astronomers and mathematicians, built a system to understand infinite time, not to predict its end. They charted the stars, mapped Venus, and recorded centuries of cycles so precise that modern astronomers still study them today. Their genius lay not in foretelling destruction, but in understanding continuity. In the end, December 21st, 2012, revealed nothing about the end of the world, and everything about us. The Maya never predicted apocalypse. They predicted renewal. The world didn't end that day, it simply began again. The Maya civilization grew to some 40 cities at its peak. 250 CE Tikal, Maya lowlands. Rising from the Guatemalan jungle, Tikal's limestone pyramids pierced the canopy, visible for miles. At its height, between 50,000 and 120,000 people lived in the city and its outskirts. Temple 4, completed around 741 CE, soared 212 feet, taller than a modern 20-story building. The Great Plaza hosted vast markets and ceremonies, while Sakbiob, white stone causeways, linked Tikal to distant cities across the Maya world. Tikal was just one of some 40 major Maya city-states that flourished between 250 and 900 CEE, the classic period when Maya civilization reached its peak. These were not primitive settlements, but thriving urban centers with advanced architecture, art, and astronomy. Rivals of Rome or Han China in sophistication. The Maya world wasn't a unified empire, but a constellation of city-states, each ruled by a Kuhul Ajah, a holy lord claiming divine ancestry and serving as a bridge between people and gods. These rulers built monuments, led rituals, and waged both diplomacy and war. At Palenque, in modern Chiapas, the Temple of the Inscriptions housed the tomb of Tikal the Great, whose 68-year reign produced some of the most refined Maya architecture. Nearby, a 4-story tower within his palace likely served both astronomical and defensive purposes. In Copan, Honduras, art and science flourished. Its famous hieroglyphic stairway, completed around 755 CE, contains over 2,000 glyphs, the longest known Maya inscription detailing dynastic history. Copan's sculptors carved lifelike royal portraits whose features remain distinct even today. Calakmul, deep in Mexico's Campeche forests, rivaled Tikal in scale and ambition. The two superpowers clashed for centuries, recording victories and defeats on carved stelae. Calakmul's structure, too, rising 174 feet, contained royal tombs filled with jade masks and ornate offerings. Across Mesoamerica, populations ranged from 5,000 in small towns to over 100,000 in major capitals. Altogether, between 2 and 10 million Maya lived during the Classic period, a population density comparable to medieval Europe, sustained in lands carved from dense tropical jungle. These cities were deeply interconnected. Trade routes spanned hundreds of miles, carrying obsidian from Guatemala's highlands, jade from the Motagua Valley, salt from coastal flats, cacao from the lowlands, and shimmering quetzal feathers from the cloud forests. Cacao beans even served as currency, uniting distant economies under shared value. Relations among cities were as complex as their networks. Royal marriages forged alliances, gifts displayed wealth and cemented peace. Yet wars were frequent. Victorious kings paraded captives, dedicated them in ritual sacrifice, and turned defeated cities into tributary states. Every structure reflected Maya cosmology. Pyramids symbolized sacred mountains linking earth and sky. Temples atop them served as portals where rulers communed with gods. Plazas and palaces aligned precisely with celestial events, the solstices, equinoxes, and the movements of Venus. The Maya didn't just build cities to live in. They built cosmic landscapes, reflections of the universe itself. Many Maya cities were mysteriously abandoned around 900 CE, 750 CE. The Maya lowlands. Construction slowed. Fewer monuments rose. Populations thinned. By 925 CE, the once great cities of Tikal, Palenque, Copan, and Calakmul stood silent, temples swallowed by jungle, plazas echoing only with wind and birdsong. The collapse of the classic Maya remains one of archaeology's great mysteries, but evidence now points not to a single catastrophe, but to a convergence of disasters, environmental, political, and societal. Geologic records from Belize's caves reveal cycles of severe drought beginning around 750 CE. These weren't brief dry spells, but decades of intermittent droughts that devastated agriculture. For a civilization dependent on seasonal rain, this was ruinous. The Maya had sustained millions through advanced farming, terracing, raised fields, and forest management. But the system had limits. Expanding populations cleared too much forest, eroding soil and reducing the land's ability to retain moisture. When drought struck, crops failed, and famine followed. Scarcity bred conflict. City-states that had long traded and allied turned to war over food and territory. Stone inscriptions from this era speak of sieges, captives, and ritual sacrifice. Political alliances fractured. Royal dynasties vanished. Environmental decline deepened the crisis. Erosion filled rivers and wetlands with silt. Monumental architecture, once symbols of power, disrupted drainage systems and made water harder to manage. Trade routes shifted, isolating former capitals as economic power moved north. Yet, the Maya world didn't end. It evolved. While the southern lowlands declined, northern cities like Uxmal and Chichen Itza flourished. In the highlands of Guatemala, new powers like Utatlan rose. These regions had access to cenotes, natural sinkholes that provided water even during drought, and to emerging trade routes linking the Yucatan with central Mexico. By 1000 CE, Maya civilization had reorganized into larger regional states. Chichen Itza dominated the Yucatan from 900 to 1200 CE, followed by Mayapan until its fall in 1441. When the Spanish arrived in 1519, they found not ruins, but thriving Maya polities. Tayasal, in modern Guatemala, resisted conquest until 1697, the last independent Maya city. The collapse ended kingdoms, not culture. The Maya adapted, survived, and endured. Their descendants still live across Mesoamerica today, speaking ancient languages, practicing timekeeping, and preserving traditions born thousands of years ago. Proof that civilizations may fall, but peoples endure. Only 3 Maya codices still exist. Mani, Yucatan Peninsula. In a courtyard in Mani, Diego de Landa, a Franciscan friar charged with converting the Maya, stood before a pile of books codices made from fig bark, folded like accordions, covered in elegant hieroglyphs. He called them works of the devil and ordered them burned. The flames devoured centuries of knowledge. Dozens, perhaps hundreds, of codices vanished. Texts that recorded astronomy, medicine, history, mathematics, and religion. In a single night, the written memory of an entire civilization turned to ash. Only 3 codices survived: the Dresden, Madrid, and Paris codices, each now housed in European museums. A possible 4th, the Grolier Codex, was confirmed genuine only recently. These fragile books contain astronomical tables so precise they predict eclipses and track Venus's 584-day cycle with near-modern accuracy. Ironically, the man who destroyed Maya knowledge also preserved its key. Years later, de Landa wrote Relación de las Cosas de Yucatán, recording a partial alphabet of Maya glyphs. He misunderstood the system. It wasn't an alphabet, but a complex mix of symbols and sounds, but his notes became invaluable. In the 1950s, Russian linguist Yuri Knorozov used de Landa's notes and the surviving codices to prove that Maya writing was both phonetic and logographic. For the first time in centuries, the Maya spoke again through their own words. Inscriptions once thought decorative revealed royal histories, wars, marriages, and myths. Today, Maya scholars are reclaiming their script. Schools in Guatemala and Mexico teach hieroglyphic writing, reviving a language that once shaped time itself. Yet the loss remains one of humanity's greatest cultural tragedies. Knowledge of science, medicine, and history erased by fire, leaving only 3 silent survivors to whisper what the flames could not consume. Nearly half of Guatemala's modern population is ethnically Maya. Present day. Guatemala. In modern Guatemala, around 6.5 million people, 43% of the population, identify as Maya. They speak 22 living Mayan languages, maintain ancestral traditions, and carry forward knowledge that once shaped one of the world's great civilizations. Across Mexico and Central America, millions more Yucatec, Tzotzil, Celtal, Quiche, Huequi form one of the largest indigenous populations in the Americas. Yet being the first stewards of these lands never spared them hardship. Spanish conquest brought devastation. Disease, forced labor, and warfare reduced Maya populations by up to 90% within a century. Colonial rule banned native rituals, seized land, and imposed Spanish as the sole language of power. Independence changed the rulers, but not the oppression. New governments continued taking communal lands and suppressing Maya identity. In the 20th century, tragedy struck again. During Guatemala's Civil War, 1960 to 1996, the army targeted Maya villages as rebel supporters. Over 200,000 people died, 4 out of 5 were Maya. The massacres were later declared genocide. Still, the Maya endured. They fight for land rights, education, and cultural survival. They farm ancestral lands, speak their own languages, and teach the old ways to new generations. Rigoberta Menchú Tum, a Quiche Maya activist, won the 1992 Nobel Peace Prize, bringing global attention to their struggle for justice. In recent years, governments have begun to acknowledge historical wrongs. Mexico's 2021 formal apology was one symbolic step. Yet inequality, poverty, and racism persist. Despite this, the Maya are not relics of the past, but a living civilization. They are teachers, artists, engineers, and guardians of ancient knowledge. Their languages still echo through mountain valleys. Their rituals still honor the earth. The civilization that built Tikal and Copan endures not as ruins in the jungle, but in the people who refuse to let their history fade. Maya ruins are still being discovered today. 2018. Northern Guatemala rainforest. Archaeologists stared in disbelief at the computer screens. Using LiDAR light detection and ranging, they had scanned 810 square miles of jungle canopy in northern Guatemala. The lasers revealed not scattered ruins, but an entire hidden world. Over 60,000 previously unknown Maya structures, cities, palaces, causeways, fortifications, and farmland sprawling beneath the forest. This is one of the greatest advances in over 150 years of Maya archaeology, said Stephen Houston of Brown University. The revelation transformed understanding of Maya civilization. Populations were likely millions larger than once believed. The elevated highways proved advanced urban planning. The fortifications revealed widespread warfare. The sheer scale showed a civilization of astonishing complexity. Before LiDAR, archaeologists spent months cutting through jungle to uncover a single temple. Now, lasers mounted on aircraft mapped entire cities in hours. By digitally removing vegetation, researchers could see ancient architecture and terrain as if the rainforest had vanished. The impact was immediate. In 2023, another survey uncovered a vast network of interconnected cities dating to 1,350 BCE centuries earlier than anyone expected, linked by elevated stone roads that functioned as superhighways across the Maya world. This high-tech revolution builds on a legacy stretching back to the 1840s, when John Lloyd Stevens and Frederick Catherwood first brought Maya ruins to global attention. Today's tools, LiDAR, satellites, ground-penetrating radar continue their mission on a scale they could never have imagined. The discoveries reshape everything once believed about the Maya. Their cities were larger, their infrastructure more sophisticated, and their politics far more complex. And yet, beneath thousands of square miles of untouched jungle, countless secrets still wait to be found. The Maya created one of history's great civilizations, flourishing for over 3,000 years across Mesoamerica. They developed sophisticated mathematics, including zero, built cities rivaling anything in the ancient world, tracked astronomical movements with precision, and created writing systems recording their knowledge. Their achievements are more impressive considering they worked without metal tools, without wheels for transportation, without draft animals. They built massive stone structures by hand. They transported materials hundreds of miles through dense jungle. They calculated astronomical cycles without telescopes. Today, millions of Maya descendants maintain languages, traditions, and knowledge connecting them to ancestors who built Tikal and invented zero. They face challenges, discrimination, poverty, inequality, but persist, keeping alive cultures spanning millennia. The Maya story isn't finished. New ruins are discovered regularly. Technologies like LIDAR reveal landscapes transformed by Maya engineering. Each discovery expands our understanding of this remarkable civilization. The ancient Maya remind us that human achievement isn't determined by technology alone, but by curiosity, determination, and brilliance. They showed what's possible when civilizations pursue knowledge, create beauty, and build for the future. Their pyramids still stand. Their calendars still track time. Their mathematics still work. And their descendants still honor the legacy of one of history's greatest civilizations.